Okay, so I should have known that was too good to be true. Need to cancel. Alright guys, so it looks like our last week in Turkey is turning out to be a bit of a disaster.
That is not a police car. He's just got red and blue LED lights on the front.
We're Cheska and Ben, and this is our home on wheels, Sophia. We live full time in our camper van with our 2 dogs, River and Scout, and have spent the last 6 months exploring Turkey for the winter. It's been an eventful time. We were hit with some of the worst storms Turkey has seen in years. Potholes shook off our exhaust, and we gave this hungry little pup a forever home. The time has now come for us to leave Turkey as we continue our journey and head back into Europe. But our last week in Turkey doesn't go at all to plan. Subscribe and join us for the ride with new videos every Sunday.
Morning guys, so our drive north continues today. We've had this lovely little spot for a couple of days, but now we're heading to Fethiye, 2 hours to Fethiye to pick up Scout's rabies titer test. Finally! Get the certificate and he's all good to leave the country.
It was a beautiful early morning drive through the mountains as we made our way to Fethiye, just in time for the vets to open.
That's it, we've got Scout's certificate now. That's confirmation he is fully vaccinated for rabies. And he has an impressive blood count as well, which is really, really good. You're 15, where you need to be over 0.5. Well done, Scout.
With all our paperwork done, we had one last night in the warmth of the south coast before driving a mega 8 hours to Istanbul. But things didn't really go to plan. Good morning guys, from a pretty rainy Istanbul. We're about half an hour south of the city centre. Unfortunately, as you may have known from last week's video, we were meant to be going to Ephesus before Istanbul, but when we got to Ephesus, I came down with like a really, really bad migraine, and it was just throwing down with rain as well, and that was our only day to visit Ephesus. So unfortunately, we've had to give Ephesus a miss, which I'm very, very disappointed about. There's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately, so we're just going to make the most of our time in Istanbul. We're parked up in this kind of car park near this big park.
Okay.
Are you ready to tackle the Istanbul traffic today?
It was hard enough getting to the outskirts of Istanbul. That was mental.
We did arrive at rush hour though, so...
We did, yeah. We did time it wrong, as usual, and hit rush hour. But now we're going to go and try and drive near the Blue Mosque. So, traffic, or Google Maps is saying that it's very busy.
Okay, so the drive into Istanbul has officially begun. Istanbul is meant to be a driving experience. So we found a park up that is pretty central. It's right near the Blue Mosque. It's got a big park next to it, which is going to be perfect for these guys. So that is where we're headed. It's about half an hour away. There's a 15-minute congestion delay. Let's see how this goes.
That is not a police car. He's just got red and blue LED lights on the front.
Alright, so is it rerouting you? Cancel. It keeps trying to do it with me as well. Okay, so I should have known that was too good to be true. The route that it was taking us was very, very direct, and it was through the tunnel, and the tunnel has a height limit of 2.75 meters, which means we would have been like so close, and it just wasn't worth risking it. So through all the traffic at the last minute, we had to quickly divert, and I now remember Chris and Marianne telling me that there was like a tunnel that we couldn't go under. There was a bridge that didn't allow camper vans to go over. It's actually rerouted us over that bridge, and I've just had a quick Google, and it looks like Istanbul are now allowing vans to go over this bridge. So we're gonna go for it, because if not, we've got to go literally from the bottom of Istanbul all the way up over the top and back down again in a massive circle. What was like a half an hour trip has now turned into like 1 hour 20. Traffic is still pretty bad, but it's manageable. We're coping okay.
It's fine, the traffic is just so slow. The only problem is when you're trying to like merge across lanes and things, because everybody's so like bumper to bumper. And like back home, you'd indicate and wait for somebody to flash you out so you can go. Whereas here, indicate, go.
Or don't indicate.
Or don't indicate. So we're about to successfully go over the bridge. There's other vans. Nothing to worry about.
You gonna go for it?
In 400 meters, turn right onto Kadıköy.
Okay, we're on it now. go under the tunnel.
I would never recommend driving in Istanbul. It's an absolute nightmare, but it was an experience nonetheless.
Yeah. We're in Istanbul, River.
Istanbul, Scout.
Alright guys, so it looks like our last week in Turkey is turning out to be a bit of a disaster. So we pulled up to this car park in Istanbul that had a nice big park for the dogs to run around. We've just made some lunch and just been watching so much drama unfold outside. There's a pack of about 8 stray dogs, one with a massive aggressive alpha male. They seem to live here. They've been roaming around for the past hour or so. There's some guys here that like around a little hut. I don't know if they're here all the time, but the dogs seem to know them. But these guys are like chaining some of the dogs up. They're kicking others away. These dogs are chasing people on scooters and people walking. They're having to like kick them away from people. The dogs do not seem friendly, and obviously we've got River and Scout. They desperately need to go out for a walk before we leave them. We've only really got today to go and see Istanbul, and I just don't know if it's worth staying here, and we just don't have the time. We can't walk them out here, we can't leave them here. We then need to go and find another car park. The car parks that are nearby that seem that we can go and take them for a walk are also further out the centre, so we need to then probably get a bus into the centre of Istanbul. And I'm just thinking that this just isn't worth all this hassle, and that Istanbul is maybe somewhere we come back to in like the spring, or if we ever want like a little city break somewhere, we come back and see it properly, or we can maybe stay really central. And it might just be that we come to Turkey and not do Istanbul, because there's no way I'm gonna take River and Scout out with these dogs. They're like literally launching and like running at like another dog and like going for it, and then another one's had to be chained up and was yelping, and it is just a bit chaotic.
Plus the guys that are looking after them aren't very nice either. Like, they're literally hitting the dogs are now running off, they're taking them away. These guys around here, they're not very nice. They're not treating them very nice, and that's probably why the dogs are aggressive. So, but you know, we've had an absolute fantastic, amazing 6 months in Turkey. It's just a shame that we don't have the time to park out and come in. So, as Jess said, I think, yeah, we'll miss Istanbul, unfortunately. So all that driving you put me through, getting into Istanbul, thank you very much. Now we've got to drive back out. Alright guys, well, we're about an hour and a half outside of Istanbul, 2 hours away from the border, and we're here for the night. It's cold, it's dry, which is good. Okay guys, Chess is crashed out opposite me, eating Pringles and drinking tea because her migraine's come back. Let me show you. Ah! There she is.
Hello.
Not good, are you?
No. I think it's probably a good idea that we missed Istanbul, because I don't think I'm feeling up to it. Can't believe that this time tomorrow we're going to be in Greece, and I never thought that our last week in Turkey was going to be this hectic, but sometimes it's just the way it is. We've had the best time in Turkey, like it has been amazing, and we're just looking forward to like some new adventures, and to, yeah, start making our way back home and see what happens on the way. Should be fun. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Taking this little one, you can lick my fingers. I don't know if you can see him. Taking this little one back home. You need to go to the toilet, don't you? I can hear you whining. Come on then. Driving.
Good morning guys, it is about 8:30. I slept awful last night. I didn't get to sleep till about 3 because the dogs around here were barking. There must have been about 20 dogs barking and barking. It was keeping our dogs awake. They were barking back at them. But it's all good. We're trying to get all our paperwork ready today to cross the border. We've got our passenger locator forms done. Ben is just trying to find out if we have any fines to pay from the Turkish transport before we leave. Apparently we've got an 11 lira fine from a bridge in Istanbul yesterday, but it's not letting us pay, so that's got a load of fun.
Please try again after a short while. Oh, stupid. Besides, cards, Migros card, got cash.
I'm just walking the dogs while Ben's packing the van down. You might be able to see, Sophia had a friend last night. Not only did we meet another British van lifer, but also Sophia's twin. She's got another white Sprinter van. This girl called Emily, and she's literally just got into Turkey, so we're kind of crossing paths going in opposite directions. So we had a nice chat with her last night. So if you're watching Emily, it was lovely to meet you, and I hope you have an amazing time in Turkey. Oh, now we've got some four-legged friends joining us. Are we all ready to go? Did you get all the fines paid?
All the fines are paid. No, our bridge crossing is paid. And now we need to go to the petrol station. We're going to fill up. We've got a 2-hour drive to the border, but we're also going to fill up before we get to the border because it's very cheap. And we'll head to Greece. Back to Greece, guys. Let's go. Country number 2 for you, buddy.
Look me in the eyes right now, run away with me. Or to a place that you thought you never.
Almost 6 months to the day, and we are approaching the Greek-Turkey border. Fingers crossed this all goes smoothly. Merhaba. Are you V5?
Merhaba.
Merhaba. Passport? We've got the residency here.
Evet, come on. Hey. All good, yep.
Kalimera. Okay.
Standing up.
Yeah. Don't be dramatic.
No, it tickles.
We've been. Mine wasn't too bad actually. Your worse.
Is that it?
Wait.
Yeah. There we are. That's it. We're in Greece. We're back.
Are we in Greece? Was that it?
There we go. Yeah. Iggy
All done.
All done.
There we go, guys. We're in Greece.
We are back in Europe. Scout, welcome to the second country.
Scout, you're out of Turkey. Welcome to Greece, little one. Welcome to Greece.
Wow. Well, that was
very
easy.
straightforward.
That was so easy.
Well, that was a very straightforward border crossing. They did ask for our passenger locator forms twice, and they did ask for our COVID vaccination certificates. I do know that John and Mandy a few weeks ago got stopped at the border in Greece, and they needed to have a PCR test, which they didn't have, so they had to go back into Turkey to get that. But since they've crossed, I'm pretty sure Greece have changed their requirements so that if you've got the booster, you don't need a PCR test. So we didn't need a PCR test, but they did swab us as like a precautionary measure, and they didn't ask for anything with the dogs. Nothing, not a passport or anything. We didn't need to get a Scout a titer test necessarily to leave because they didn't ask for it. However, we're not 100% sure that he would be able to get an EU pet passport without one, and it's just, with the amount of travelling that we're doing, I think it's just better for us to have it. But yeah, they didn't ask for anything regarding the dogs, for those of you that would be interested. And yeah, nice and straightforward.
Back in Europe.
Back in Europe, back in Greece, and the sun is shining, and my headache's gone.
And I think we should go to Lidl.
Yes, oh.
Not seen a Lidl.
We have missed Lidl so much. I love Migros, don't get me wrong, but I'm so looking forward to a little Lidl spree. Well, we have now pulled up to a little spot on the beach. We are just outside Alexandroupoli in Greece, and that is it. Officially, our Turkey trip is officially over. And despite the kind of last week not really going to plan, we have had an absolutely incredible time in Turkey. The past 6 months have absolutely flown by. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has made our stay in Turkey so special. The Turkish people have been some of the friendliest, warmest, kindest people that we've ever met. Turkey will always have a very special place in our hearts too. Scout, hey, because of you. Our little Turkish souvenir. Hey, yes you are. We're both feeling pretty exhausted after the past like 2 weeks. Like every day has been full on, like 16-hour days, and yeah, it's absolutely flown by, but we're just, yeah, both so tired, and I think we're just gonna relax this afternoon, chill, not do anything, probably not even talk to each other, just lie here. Tomorrow we're gonna start making our way further west now. We're going to be heading towards, oh hello Scout, towards Thessaloniki. By complete chance, we found this spot on the beach to park our bums for a few days. The sand was powdery white and stretched on for miles, overlooking the snowy mountains on the island of Thassos. It was exactly what we needed after 2 weeks of long drives. So obviously the backdrop to this past week and in this past couple of weeks has obviously been the war in Ukraine. I'm sure most of you watching this are exactly like me, and I just can't stop reading about it, seeing what's happening, feeling sick, scared, anxious, horrified by the whole thing. And yeah, I'm also feeling incredibly helpless at a time like this, to be honest. Obviously the best thing that any of us can do is donate money. Sometimes it feels like a bit of a passive thing to do, but if you can find the right legitimate organisations, it is one of the most powerful things you can do to give them money, to do the job, to give them the resources that they need. So also, if you're like me, you might find the whole donation thing a little bit of a minefield. Like, who do I donate to? What's the best organisation? Is this legitimate? Etc. I found a really good article on goodtoknow.com that listed a load of legitimate organisations on the ground in Ukraine that you can donate to, and also detailed what they do, what their work is, and all that kind of stuff. Few that stood out to me. The first one is With Ukraine. Now, I had heard of this one. This is the donation site set up by the Ukrainian embassy. Nothing to sign up for, it's just literally a payment page, and it goes directly to the Ukrainian government to help with humanitarian aid and all that kind of stuff. You can pay by PayPal, pay by credit card. It's literally just a website, you can just go and donate. So the next one is Voices of Children. This is a Ukrainian charity set up to help families in particular and children who are caught up in warfare. It helps with food, clothing, shelter for families that are caught right in the middle of this. They also have a team of psychologists. They're really big on trying to help ease the trauma that children are going to have to be dealing with after experiencing warfare, basically. So yeah, Voices of Children, that was another really good one. Another one was a Sunflower of Peace. This is a fundraiser to provide medical backpacks to frontline personnel. Each backpack has the ability to save 5 to 10 lives. It's designed for people who are out on the front line who don't have access to emergency medical care and stuff. It's also really good for frontline doctors. It's designed for second level medical care in combat, given to groups who are operating in areas without emergency care or medical facilities. So these backpacks are literally a lifeline for those on the front line. So that was Sunflower of Peace, Voices of Children. I'll also put a link to the actual article where there was loads more organisations that you could donate to. It might just be worth having a read through there, seeing if any kind of speak to you and donating there, and you'd be making such a massive difference. Another one that I thought was interesting was, if you're based in London, the White Eagle Club in London, which is a Polish organisation, are asking for clothing donations which they will sort and take into Poland to the refugees. As you know, over 1 million people have now fled Ukraine, with the vast majority going to Poland. It's obviously freezing cold, it's winter, these people have just left often just with what they've got on their backs. With it being so cold, clothing, coats, thermal wear, baby supplies, etc. If you can take it to the White Eagle Club in London, they will sort it and take it over there. I'll put a link to the actual article that I found all of those organisations through as well. But yeah, donating is one of the best and most meaningful things that we can do in times like this. So yeah, have a look through that article. Hopefully there's some things in there that speak to you, and I will leave the video there for this week. Sending so much love to you all at this very stressful, difficult time, especially any of you directly affected by the war in Ukraine. And yeah, sending lots of love, and we shall catch you guys next Sunday. Bye.